like something tangible, like a bank or a building or, you know.
Real quick, big round of applause for He was very nice. He took time out of his day to come talk to us today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's great.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, Rob, too, for waiting.
Thanks, Rob.
Do you guys? There's a podcast named Serial. Have you guys all listened to Serial?
Yeah.
Anybody listen to Serial?
Yes.
They spun off a separate podcast called S-Town.
Yes.
You listen to it. The opening line of S-Town is that you'd be surprised how much you can learn when you just shut your mouth.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what we need to do more of, right? Like
That was
you'd be
amazing.
surprised. You just ask a question, you can see how long you can go, and how much we can learn from that. So Minsley is up next.
We got time?
We always have time for you.
Good. Time.
How can we not have time? I need to hear 5 F-bombs, so we have time.
You got it. I have a kid. I don't curse anymore. Great. That's a poor little child. Doesn't even like cursing enough. That's gonna be a tough act to follow anyway.
Rob, thanks for bringing that guy in. What's funny is that guy has tons of similarities with my dad. I always tell this to anyone that listens or whatever, but my dad will always on the phone. It's almost like Joe's like, oh, and one more thing and copy. My dad will not get off the fucking phone with me. So he's always like, hold on, before you go. Did you see? And then he goes into like some of the same exact dialogues that that guy went into. Again, very Fox business oriented, like confused about stuff and just wants like stability. So anyway, hopefully you guys are taking some notes there. I've got a couple lessons that I learned and some housekeeping notes that I'm gonna get to. But before that, I'm going to tell a story. So if you guys don't know me, my name is Matt Inslee. I'm the publisher of St. Paul Research. That's one of the new imprints that we've got here. I've been with Agora Financial for 12 years. So I wanted to give you a little bit about my background. I feel like I've done a lot of things here at Agora Financial. And one of the more interesting times that I had was Byron King now works with Pete's Franchise and the Gold Speculator. But for a while we were running what was called the Resource Franchise. So we were trying to get everything up and running, and resource was basically like oil and gas, gold, silver, different natural resources. So there was a good time in my life from like 2009 to probably 2014 that we were doing anything we could in that space or whatever. So I would say it was somewhere around 2012. We went on a trip. We were looking at a mine in Texas. So me and Byron fly down to Texas. Oddly enough, like the guy was a subscriber. So he's like, hey man, come down here, I got this crazy mine I want to show you. Like it's got a bunch of like, it had rare earth materials, which in 2011 is huge. And then uranium also, which in the resource boom is huge too. So me and Byron are like, all right, we'll hop on a plane. So we hop on a plane, get down there, go to Texas, meet this guy at like a rest stop. He's like, hey guys, get in my truck. We're like, all right, we'll get in your truck. So we get in this big old like dually truck or whatever. And he, you know, we leave the park and ride, we go off road, down the road a little bit, and then we turn off the road. He's like, all right. He's like, it's up on that mountain, we gotta go off road or whatever. So we're driving, it's bumpy as shit, and like 10 minutes in, 15 minutes in, like cell phone service is gone. And I'm like, dude, this is getting questionable. Because it's like, we've got a subscriber randomly like calling Byron up and be like, come check out this random place in Texas. So I start fucking worrying. So no cell phone service, and we go like another 30 minutes. We start going around this mountain or whatever. Get up to the top of the mountain. I'm calmed down a little bit because again the guy's talking about the mining operation and all that stuff. So we get up to the top of the mountain, big like mine shaft just goes into whatever. So me, Byron, this guy get out of the car, and Byron's fucking excited as shit. He's got his little rock hammer and he wants to go into this mine or whatever and check out like whatever they have. So we go into the mine and you go like hundreds of feet down in this mine. So here I am, no cell phone service, 45 minutes from like civilization. I don't think we told anyone where we were, and we are like, I don't know, half a mile down into the earth with some stranger, and we've got these little headlamps on. So again, Byron's like picking around all this stuff. I'm still like a little bit like, oh, I haven't been in mine, all that kind of stuff. I was just a little bit worried. So anyway, the guy turns to us, and it was really weird. He's like, hey, have you guys ever heard of winter visitors? And I'm like, I don't know what the fuck that means. This guy's really fucking scared me now because I don't have cell phone service. I'm in the middle of nowhere with a subscriber, and guess what? We have angry subscribers sometimes. So I'm like, God damn it, this guy's gonna kidnap us. I'm like, what the fuck is a winter visitor? He's like, hey, I got something I want to show you. So we were in one of the little offshoots of the mine. He's like, come up this way. So we go up, go down another fucking offshoot, and I'm like, this is where he keeps the people. So we go down there, and he's like, hold on, and he shines this light down in the thing, and he grabs this little rock, and he's like, be quiet. Throws this rock down there, and all of a sudden you hear this shit ton of like rattling, this crazy rattling noise. There are all these fucking rattlesnakes. So again, he didn't kidnap a bunch of people, but like winter visitors, apparently in Texas, when it's winter, the snakes are like, let's get out of here, and they go into the mine, and they all fucking hang out in one little spot. So anyway, that was one of the stories. The next story I got, same thing with Byron. This one will be a quick one. We went to South Africa, and when I'm on trips with Byron or anybody like that, I'm like, especially before I had a kid, he's like, hey, you want to get in a helicopter, go check out a mine? I'm like, yeah, why not get in a rickety helicopter in South Africa and fly for 2 hours? So anyway, long story short, we go check out a mine. On the way back, helicopter pilot starts freaking out. We had to stop somewhere to refuel and then go and get to the mine. So on the way from the mine back to the little refueling airport, the helicopter pilot starts freaking out. He's like, uh-oh. And then starts saying, and meanwhile, Byron, much like Jim Rickards or any of our editors, like just fucking crazy credentials. Byron was an Navy pilot. So Byron knows what he's doing. We're in this like helicopter. So Byron's like looking back and he's like, something fucking bad is happening. So we're in this helicopter. Pilot starts calling the little, the airport's name is Polokwane. Really quick, like, South Africa had World Cup, so soccer. So there's this giant fucking stadium. It's like 2 times the size of M&T Bank Stadium in the middle of fucking nowhere. It's almost like Ocean City in the winter. That's how big Polokwane is. And they have this huge stadium. So that's how I remember it. Like you can look at it on a map. It's like little teeny airport, little teeny town, fucking giant stadium. So anyway, he's calling back and he's like, the helicopter had some sort of name. It was like Oscar Alpha Papa or something. He was talking in like Navy things. He's like, Oscar Alpha Papa to Polokwane. Oscar Alpha Papa to Polokwane. The little guy, like, there's one guy at the fucking airport. Like, I'm not kidding. One guy at the airport. He's just not there. So he's not responding or whatever. So within a couple seconds, we realized why this pilot's freaked out. There are 2 fighter jets. They're fucking coming around and buzzing us. And we're in a helicopter. So, like, and we're in South Africa because, like, these guys probably don't know what the fuck they're doing anyway. Like, they're flying these jets around. So he starts freaking out. Long story short, we were fine. But those planes were scrambled because we were in restricted airspace. The fucking pilot went into the wrong area, and they were doing like they were like, hey, get some fucking jets in the air because some idiot is here with a helicopter, and they buzzed us on purpose. So anyway, they had to get we had to go to the little airport. Byron had to get Byron helped with the debriefing and like we really didn't know what we were doing and that kind of stuff. So anyway, long story short, why do I tell you that kind of stuff? I just wanted to let you guys know, if you don't know me or if you do, I bleed for AF, and literally on several occasions I've risked my life willingly. I'm like, I'm gonna go get in a helicopter that is not safe in a country that doesn't have their shit together. Like, they don't. And same thing when I'm like, I'm gonna go get in a truck with Byron, with a subscriber who I know can be angry, and go down a fucking mine shaft with him. Those are conscious decisions that I make, but it's because I like what we do, and I like what we do here at AF. So anyway, I just want to give you those stories to get an idea of what I am, what I'm about, and a little bit of my upbringing here. But I've done a bunch of stuff, written some promos, been an editor, launched e-letters, managed products, like all kinds of stuff. And one of the best things I got is just sort of following Joe around. Joe hired me. First 5 years, I got to sit right next to him, and you can't really have a better mentor than him. So that's what I got for stories. Real quick, lessons learned. I'm not going to take a bunch of time on this. You guys can hit me up afterwards on any of these things, and I will give you input on them. You know Joe, he's into the Navy SEALs. One of the best quotes that you'll ever find from Navy SEALs, I think, was in one of those articles we were passing around last year around this time. A lot of people think that Navy SEALs go out there and they're like, oh man, finally I get to fight someone, and they fucking rise to the occasion. And that's the opposite of the truth. SEALs don't rise to the occasion, they fall back on their training. So when it comes to copywriting, you are not going to get lucky with a promo. You might, but that is going to be the guy that's just out there shooting like this and around the corner and you happen to kill Osama bin Laden or something. That's not going to happen. What they do is train. They train, or in our case, they write every fucking day. They read every fucking day. If you're reading one promo and you're in this state in the game, you're not reading enough promos. Because how long does it take you to read a promo? 10 minutes? Read fucking 40 promos a day. Because you got limited time here to make it happen. So anyway, one thing there. 2 quotes from Bill Bonner. One of my favorites. He says, no one ever wakes up and says, I want to buy a financial newsletter. You got to be thinking about that every single thing you write. Cliff notes, inserts, display ads on Facebook, promos, anything. We're going to get to, I think the topic of today is no one wants to read your shit. That's the point of no one wants to read your shit. They don't wake up and say, I want a fucking newsletter. I need to go read some shit about it and buy it. They don't care. So we got to shake them into care. The other Bill quote kind of gets back to the hard work thing. Bill, we're pretty sure, is a billionaire. Not fully known, but like we've got a lot of the good things going on at Agora. One time I had a chance to talk to him, and he's really down to earth. We were like, Bill, what's your secret? And he's like, get in the office at 7 a.m., leave the office at 7 p.m., and do it for 40 years. If you do that, you're going to succeed at whatever you are, unless you're a big idiot. He didn't say that, but. Other thing I was telling Judy Parrott, I have this little fortune cookie. I can't even remember what it says, but my quote is like, luck favors the prepared. That's another lesson learned. Again, I had a chance to write the Rickards Gold Speculator launch package. It's one of those things where everything led me to that point where I was able to write the launch package. You don't always get that opportunity. Luck favors the prepared. I had been here for many years. I know how to write. If you tell me to write any stock, any topic, I'll combine them and I'll get you 800 words in the next fucking 30 to 45 minutes. I'll go do research because my brain and my hands know how to fucking write. That's an advantage that if you guys don't have it, you got to start working on it now. If you can't just go write, you're in trouble. And yeah, one last thing on lessons learned, and again, it's hard work. Look at these guys. Look at Joe. Look at Ryan. Look at Ubaldo. Look at Pete. Look at Hitman. Joe sent around that little email, or the email every now and then. It's like, who's in the office, that kind of stuff. But look at what these guys are doing. You have the best examples you need. Joe has read more promos than fucking anyone and writes more than anyone I know. Same thing with Ryan. Like, if you talk to him about what he's done when he writes promos, the amount of research he puts in or whatever. Same with Hitman. He's in the office all the time. He's a student of copy. Pete's the same way. And Ubaldo, God bless however much fucking money he made last year. Guess what he's doing right now? He's fucking working. He doesn't